What is going on, everyone? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Gonna try my best to answer every single question that you guys post. So for everyone who's in here right now, you've already posted a decent amount of them. Congratulations. You guys are gonna be the first ones to get them answered. But anyone who's like trickling in, seeing this, post the questions. We're going to try and do all of them today. I'm also going to do a Best Ball Mania draft. I'll join that in about 30 seconds. As you can see here, I only have 2 more to do. I would say 140 of them have been slow drafts, but we've done a lot of the slow drafts, some of the fast drafts here. Only 2 left. So in a few seconds, I'll start that, but get the questions firing away. If you are watching and you want to join, now is the time to do so. So join into a Best Ball Mania draft if you can right now, and then I will join in a couple seconds. All right, first question. You're drafting at the 12 spot in a 14-team league and you hate it. Yeah, it's not a good spot. Don't like any of the players at 12 all the way down to one. Oh, one what? Do you reach or just take best available? I mean, we're not reaching in the sense of like you're not taking the 30th ranked player because you like them, right? You're not taking Josh Jacobs 12th overall because you think he's a good pick this season. How far are you really reaching there? Let's say you said, you didn't say scoring format. I'm going to just assume it's half PPR. If you're at 12 and you want to go with JT, Gibbs, Saquon, Achane, I think any of them would be fine at 12. I'd be hoping one of Garrett Wilson, AJ Brown maybe fell to me. You could go with Puka if you wanted to. I don't know if I'd go Puka though. I'd hope for maybe one of the running backs. But I'm not reaching for Pacheco, Etienne. Try to double dip a running back, honestly, and then just hammer out wide receiver after that. But yeah, only reached so far in the first couple rounds. ADPs are pretty darn accurate for the first couple rounds, especially round 1. Okay. You drafted Tua as your second quarterback. Should you drop him to pick up Fields? No. I would not do that. If Bijan falls to him, I don't know, that is in conjunction with, okay. You're drafting from the 8. Where are we drafting from? 5? Okay, 5's a good spot. Nice, we got a good pick in this one. You're drafting from the 8th spot. 8th spot's good. 14-team, half PPR. Which running backs should you draft in round 1? Home league running backs go fast. So, personally, I think there's a clear top 8 players, as you can see right here, finishing off at 8. In redraft leagues, those running backs will be moved up. I'd be fine going literally McCaffrey, Bijan, and Hall 1, 2, 3 in a redraft league, with Hall and Bijan just being your favorite. I would personally not take a running back. I would just take the top wide receiver. There's going to be a top 8 player. You're going to either have Amon St. Brown, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. One of them will be there at your pick. So I would go with one of them and then maybe try and go running back in your second pick. If you really want to go wide receiver that spot, I would suggest seeing if someone will trade back with you, because you're better off just trading back because you're not getting great value taking running back at that spot. Half PPR, 10-team home league, 5th pick, assuming Chase, Hill, and Bijan are there. Who you going with? Yeah, in half PPR, I'm taking the running back, and I'm just going to go with Bijan there. Okay, we're going to be on the clock at pick 5. I'll take Chase or Jefferson, whichever one is there. This is Underdog. This is Best Ball. So it operates a little bit differently than a redraft league. Running backs are going to be pushed back just a little bit more. This is a 3 wide receiver format. Obviously, running backs are pushed back more than 3 wide receiver, but it's also Best Ball with that favorite wide receiver as well. In a redraft league, I'd take Bijan at that pick. Okay, let's pull this up for you all so no one gets upset with me. And there we are. Okay, we can see the draft board. Lovely. Keep firing away the questions. We're going to try and answer all of them today. Do you ever do auction drafts? No. I don't do auction drafts, so you don't want my take on auction drafts. I'd just be talking nonsense. My general opinion, I think, is relatively correct, but it's really just surface level stuff, and that you got to go in with a game plan. When I did my only auction league, I did crush it, but I got super lucky. I just got unbelievably lucky. I picked up, or I drafted. It was the year that Allen Robinson went off. I took him for $1. There was another player I took for $1 that also went off. So I had $2 spent on 2 wide receiver ones. So I just got super lucky. But in general, just show up with a list of players you like the value on. Like literally just have a list of like, here are my like 30 favorite running backs, wide receivers, my like 10 favorite quarterbacks, my 10 favorite tight ends, not in terms of like 1 through whatever in rankings, but like your favorite values, the players you expect to be drafting. And then also come in with a couple different budgets, right? A budget for if you happen to land 2 running backs early, what does your team kind of look like? If you land 2 wide receivers early, what does it look like? If you spend up a quarterback versus don't spend up, just come in with a few different options. The tool we have on the site will let you do all of that. It'll let you like build out the different budgets. It'll let you see like inflation, deflation when your draft's happening. So I suggest just using that. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have any auction content. ADPs should line up relatively closely. So if you hear me talk about a player I like them in every format, right? Whether it's redraft, whether it's auction, it's the same thing. They should align relatively similarly in prices. But sometimes in auction, you get weird prices. My goal would be to go hero, I would say, if I was doing an auction draft. Now that CD is paid, if CMC and Tyreek are gone, would you take Lamb over these running backs in 103? So I've been assuming this whole time that Lamb was going to get paid, that he was going to be playing this season. I think it's close. Did you say format? You said half PPR. In half, I say, yeah. Right now, I have the half PPR rankings. McCaffrey, Lamb, then Bijan, then Breece Hall. Then we get into all those wide receivers after that. If you wanted to go Bijan or Breece, I'm not going to stop you just from like a strategy perspective. I think it makes a lot of sense doing that, knowing that you're going to get good wide receiver value after that. But the rankings, the projections lend itself to saying Lamb is the second best player, the second most valuable player. So if you do the mock drafts and you like wide receiver there, that's what the rankings say to do and what like the value projections say. Okay. We're at our next pick. Pick 20. We went Chase at the first one. Lovely. There's actually 3 players I really like here. It was Kupp, and then Olave and Saquon, and then I feel like mini gap, but I do want to get a little bit more Achane. I don't know that I would take him over Saquon, though, and I feel like I just have too much Olave where I just don't even want to take him here. Who does Miami play? I should probably have that pulled up. Part of me wants to just take Achane because I need to get more of him in drafts. I would probably take Barkley here on average. And I meant Cincy when I said that. Cincy does not play Miami. Okay, I was just wondering. I'm just going to take Achane here because I only have 4% of him. That's making me absolutely terrified. So I need to just get a little bit more of him in drafts. I've bumped him up recently. I'm going to talk about him in the Thursday video. Just talking about upside with players there. I've been on him a lot more recently. I truly think he could have like a peak Chris Johnson season. He could like literally if you project him, let me pull that up. If you project him for 50% of the team's carries, he's going to be like the number 1 running back in all of fantasy. Like that's how good the upside would be there. I have him projected right now for 36% of the carries, 36% of the rushing touchdowns, 9.25% target share. At that, this is where he ends up ranked. I would have him as the running back 7, 15th overall player in half PPR scoring. So, again, 36% of the team's carries. If, for fun, I bump that up to half the carries and half the touchdowns. Let me see what the projections do. Just for fun, he becomes the 4th best running back. He'd be right behind Breece Hall and Bijan Robinson at, again, half of the carries. So we're not sitting here thinking that he's going to go out there and have 60% of the rushing workload and a 15% target share. Like he's just, now, did I miss my pick, by the way? No, I didn't. Okay, good. Because I didn't realize it was a quick return. But I guess 5, we're kind of in the middle. We're not saying he's going to do that. Literally on 36% of the carries, he's a very, very strong pick. So he doesn't have to have that monster of a workload. He's just highly efficient. Players who are as efficient as he was in year 1, 100% of the time get huge volume increases in their next season. So it's a good pick. Okay. Who would I take here? I don't think there's a clear and obvious choice. I still think that Ayuk is going to play for the 49ers this season. So I've been kind of drafting that because when people thought that was going to happen, he was going closer to pick like 20 to 24. He's going at 29 right now because of that risk, but I still think he's going to play for the 49ers. And if that happens, he's going to go earlier than this. So yeah, I would say Ayuk. But we're getting risky here. Chase and Ayuk as a start. Obviously, if that doesn't end up working out for us, it's not going to be good for us early in the season, this team. But we just got to squeak into the playoffs, and I think we're getting good value with these picks. Okay. If I know round 7 is my last shot for top 11 quarterback, would you take Kyler at 503 or Daniels at 803? This is the person who was talking about half PPR before. Okay. Quarterbacks. Let's pull up the quarterback rankings. Who are the two you talked about? You said Kyler at 503 and Daniels at 703. I have Kyler at 606 and Daniels at 805. So not amazing value. Although you said that was for 12-team leagues. You said you were in a 10-team league, didn't you? You didn't say. Okay. If it's a 12-team league, that's not amazing value for these quarterbacks. If it's a 10-team league, that seems actually relatively accurate. So I'd be good with both of those. Yeah, it depends on the league size there. I'm going to draft right now. It is a 16-team league draft. Everyone wanted quarterbacks early, so I did not end up with the top 11 quarterback. I'm waiting. It's getting a little bit risky, so maybe I can pull it up. I actually don't know if I can even log into Sleeper on my computer because obviously I just use the app. I'm not sure. Okay, I am. Let's see. Draft room. Can I pull it up? Wonderful. Okay. I don't know what you guys are going to be able to see here. This is currently our slow draft in the semi-subscriber league. You can't see everything that has occurred. Hold on. Let me... We'll just hope our pick doesn't happen too quickly here. I want to show you guys a little bit. Oh, God, that's not going to happen. Whatever. We're close enough to getting all of them on the screen. I am here. 16-team league. Don't have a quarterback yet, but it's not that bad. I mean, there's going to be some options probably. Let me just see. Oh, I'm almost up. We'll go over that in a second. Where's the draft, though? All right, there we go. We'll go over that in a second. But yeah, I'm pretty late in that one, and I don't have my quarterback yet, and I'm probably going to have to double dip, obviously. But I think people are going to go for skill positions and allow me to have a quarterback, but we'll see. I'll take Josh Allen here, obviously, if he's there. I might as well de-risk and go with Pickens if he wasn't there and just be like, well, worst case scenario, I guess I can have a stack there. But no, Josh Allen's a pretty clear pick here. 44, 408, we're going to get Josh Allen. That's pretty good value. All right, we'll take that. And then it's not that long until my next one, but I'll pull this back up for you. So yeah, this is what I did. I went Lamb at 104. This is a full PPR league. This is 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, 2 flex. I went Lamb, Nico, Ayuk. I hit running back in the middle rounds, went back to some wide receivers here, took Ty Chandler. My thought process is basically like, this is what we're looking at. I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 rounds left. There's no kicker. So quarterback, I mean, there's options. I'm not going to take him. Oh, he's tight end. I guess I could take him. But there's options left at quarterback, right? Starting to look at running back, like it is about to get to the point where like Sleeper's going to stop ranking people, right? Like we scroll down a little bit and we get to Anthony McFarland. Like it's not that far away where we're there, right? So I wanted to lock up some running backs. Wide receiver, there will be options. It's going to fall off pretty quickly, but there will be options. And then tight end, I think I can find some late tight end. So I don't think it's the end of the world that I kind of abandon those positions for a little bit of time. But yeah, that's kind of how that draft is going for me. I'm probably going to have to double dip at quarterbacks. There's 2 of my picks. I'm probably going to have to double dip at tight end. There's 2 more of my picks. So I don't have that many skill picks left. But yeah, I just missed out on Jane Daniels, if you guys saw on that one. So Pickens is falling. Pickens has been falling in every draft that I've seen because people are scared. Honestly, it's good for me either way. Okay, he goes. But it would be good for me either way. Either I draft Pickens, Ayuk stays, and both of their values increase, or I get the stack and maybe both their values go down a little bit, but at least I have the stack. So it would have been fine either way. I'll take Flowers. I mean, that's a good ADP discount. My top player by 9 spots. If not, I'll take Worthy and get a deep shot. So I'm cool with either one of those picks. That's a good spot I'm in right now because there's actually a pretty decent drop off after these guys. Although I definitely prefer Zay Flowers. We got 8 seconds. This man is trying to get the money, but will he? Come on, make your pick. Ken Walker. Wow, bit of a reach there. Okay. I like this start. Josh Allen, Devon Achane, Chase, Ayuk, and Zay Flowers. All right. Good value. Nice. Okay. I think we had a super chat. So we'll answer that first, and then we'll go back to the top. Again, keep firing away questions. I'm going to try and answer all these questions. Rate your team. Okay. We'll do that. It would be nice to know how many teams are in this league, by the way. So you can put that. You don't have to do another super chat, obviously. Just put that in the comments. Full PPR. Purdy, Jacobs, Henry, London, Devonta Smith, Kincaid, Pickens, Godwin. Beautiful. I like that. I'm assuming you put the starting lineup, so I'm assuming there's 2 flex spots. I like that a lot. Jacobs also increasing in value a ton right now. Where did he go in this draft, by the way? He went, excuse me. Still got the lungs that are killing me. He went at 40. I think he's going to keep climbing. I moved him over Pacheco, I believe. Let me pull up the running back rankings for half PPR. I moved Jacobs up to 19th overall, just ahead of Pacheco and Travis Etienne. Yeah, hit those likes. I agree, Matt. He's a phenomenal pick, and people have been trying to come up with reasons as to why Jacobs is not a good pick all offseason. He's going to be good. This offense is going to be good. You've got A.J. Dillon now done for the season. You've got first 4 weeks, we're not going to have Marshawn Lloyd. And even when he does return, he hasn't practiced basically all offseason. So it's Emmanuel Wilson and Jacobs. Now, I do think they could trade for someone. They could trade for Miles Sanders. They could trade for Dameon Pierce. And that would hurt. Or like Khalil Herbert. Yeah, that would hurt. But like these are players that would be joining like right before week 1. Like they can't possibly have that strong of a game or a role early in the season. So I just think he's locked in. People can keep fading him. I think he's a great pick. Then obviously you guys know I love Derrick Henry. London I think is a great value for you got him. I think Devonta Smith is strong. Pickens is strong. Godwin's strong. You basically just have very strong wide receivers. And then Dalton Kincaid, you guys know, I think he can have literally 100 receptions and 10 touchdowns. So great team. Very, very strong team there. Okay. But again, I can't really give it a grade until you tell me how many teams are in the league. Because it's a way better 12-team team than it is 8, obviously. Okay. Let's get back to the top here. In leagues with 3-point bonus for 300 passing, 100 rushing, receiving, that's what my league does. Not the league I showed you, a different league. For the first time. I don't know what the first time means. Any changes to the rankings, 3 wide receiver, 1 flex. The only change is I would use the custom rankings and add that in because the custom rankings take that into account. Hold on, let's make this pick. Oh, yeah. Get some Kyle Pitts in here. Lovely. This draft is just kind of coming together. All right, we'll take Pitts. Theoretically, Kittle wouldn't be bad either because we can set up a San Fran stack, but I really like Pitts this season, so I want him. I would take him, though, at the next spot if Kittle came to us. So, in that format, you want more explosive players. So, you said it's full PPR, but I do like how these bonuses work and that, like, it works a little bit more like a half PPR league in the sense that, like, you know, someone like Mike Evans. Let me pull up the wide receiver rankings. Derrick Henry adds a lot of value there. It kind of takes away from his, you know, not being that great in full PPR with the fact that he's going to run for 100 yards a lot of the time, so that helps. Someone like Nico Collins, it helps Jalen Waddle, DK Metcalf, Mike Evans, hurts players like Pittman, like Zay Flowers, like Stephon Diggs, players who like are going to rack up those receptions. So it just kind of evens a lot of things out, basically. But other than that, it's basically like if it's a 50-50 between players, especially if you're using just straight up full PPR through wide receiver rankings, you just got to start leaning more towards the players that have that more explosiveness, have that big play upside because they're just more likely to get you that bonus, and it helps pocket passers. So I still want, you know, Anthony Richardson. I still want Jane Daniels, but this makes me really like Jordan Love, CJ Stroud, Jared Goff, Patrick Mahomes. My goodness, Patrick Mahomes can hit that bonus every single week. That's free points, right? So, yeah, I'd say it helps quarterback a little bit more because it's more predictable. But yeah, that's the general take there. But again, use the custom rankings, just add the bonuses in, and it'll help. Another super chat. Big fan. Can you rate my team? 10 team, half PPR. You got Stroud, Bijan, and Ken Walker. Beautiful. London, Cup, Kincaid. Right. Oh, Willow wants to play. Okay. Not right now, Bubs. Hold on. We need to make our pick. I will raise your team. I promise. Okay, he's gone. I was going to say it was Kincaid there. Or Kittle there. Kittle's gone. Okay, we're not taking him. We got to take Keon Coleman. I mean, we got to stack him with Josh Allen. That's just like the easiest pick in the world. All right. Yeah, we'll do it. Okay. And then we'll pull this up and we'll rate the team again. Okay. I think that's an awesome team. You got Kincaid, who we love, right? You have Stroud, so you've got like a high-end quarterback. So we got the top 11 quarterback, you got the top 7 tight end. You didn't sacrifice a running back. I mean, I love Bijan. I love Ken Walker. And your wide receivers. You still got, 2 round 2 wide receivers. You got Rashee Rice, who's going to crush it this season. Tank Dell, Adunze. Yeah, this team crushes. And you've got Brooks and Chuba, which is a very interesting thing I think a lot of people should do. If you're drafting this weekend, just grab both Brooks and Chuba. Grab both Nick Chubb and Jerome Ford. Like, if you do that, Chuba's going to be pretty good over these first, 4 or 5 weeks that Brooks can't play. And then you know what? You lose the value later in the season, but who cares? If you could actually start Chuba in the flex over this first month of the season, you're getting very strong value there. Then in the second half of the season, when Brooks is finally breaking out, now you've got someone who I think could be a running back 1 in the second half of the year. And in totality, you've got basically running back 1 production, and you didn't even spend, I guess, in redraft, a top 80 pick. You probably didn't spend, but I mean, people are pushing back Brooks now, so it's not really coming at that much of a cost. So that's a great team. That's a really good team. And again, it kind of goes to the fact that 16 team, like I showed you, is a little bit different because people were really heavy. These are subscribers, so they were going after quarterbacks pretty heavy. If you can just lock up the quarterback, lock up the tight end, this team is not taking a hit, right? London, Cup, Dell, Rice, Dunze, Bryant, those are sick wide receivers. Sure, you could get slightly better wide receiver core if you went later than Stroud or you didn't take Kincaid, but did you need to? You just don't need to at that point. So I think it's just best to take the guys, take the quarterbacks, take the tight ends. We can still find pretty good value. Again, the 16 team league I showed you is a little bit different. Those values are just a little bit skewed because of how many teams there are. Okay. Where are we? We are approaching pick 92. I have a RB0 build or Hero RB build going right now. Let's pull up all of the players. I can stack Burrow, but I do have 2 week 12 buys. That's fine though, because I can grab a quarterback late, and it's good value for Burrow with the Chase stack. So that's an option for us. We wouldn't draft Love. I mean, Curtis Samuel would also be a good pick for us. At running back, Brooks is going to fall, so we don't want to take him right now. Tight end, we wouldn't do that. We already have a tight end. That's a tough one. Oh, wait, I'm on the clock. Man. I'm going to take Burrow. And my reasoning is I've seen Curtis Samuel drop a little bit. I'm the person that has Josh Allen, so no one's looking for the stack right now. I think I might be able to get Curtis at the next pick. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I think that's more likely than getting Burrow at the next pick. Plus, again, I can take, let's see, Geno, Levis, Nix, May, Young. I can take one of them as my final pick. Week 12 comes, their score will be used. That's totally fine. And I don't have to spend a high of a pick. I mean, I can probably take one of them in round 17. So it's not that negative of an impact on me. Okay. Drafting at the 11th spot in a 12-team Superflex league, knowing elite running back is key, would you still go Gibbs with a quarterback Richardson or go elite wide receiver Gibbs? What? Oh, Superflex. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say what? To compete with the top 5 quarterbacks. I'll tell you exactly where I have him in Superflex. I'll pull that up. Because, yeah, it comes down to where I kind of have Anthony Richardson. I feel like I have him kind of at that turn spot. I'll do full PPR Superflex here. Curtis Samuel's still on the board. So I have AR at 11. So you're saying you're at 11. Do you go with Gibbs Gibbs with Richardson or Gibbs and a wide receiver. Hold on, I need to figure out what I would do if he goes here. If Samuel goes, I just take Shakir. That would be pretty easy. Okay, whatever. Is this guy an auto pick the whole time? I would go quarterback in Gibbs. Reason being, you're going to miss out on a pretty big range. So take Curtis here. Your next pick, if you're at 111 and then like 203, I mean, what does that bring you to? Like, it's the 311, okay, obviously. There's a chance that you miss out on the Tua Lawrence Goff range, and now your first quarterback is like Cousins, Stafford, Herbert, and Rodgers, and that would be tough. So I would rather just lock in that top-end quarterback, take the running back, even when you get to this next range. Like, if you don't want to go with that second quarterback, it's totally fine. Like, I have right now, you'd be projected to be in that, like, Olave, Adams, Ayuk, Nico range, which is still pretty sick. It's still great wide receivers. So I don't think it's worth risking it there. I'd go Gibbs and AR. If IR stashes, any IR stashes you'd consider besides Brooke and Kendra Miller, well, I don't know if I'd stash Kendra Miller, to be honest with you. It doesn't look great for him. I'll pull this back up for you guys. Remarkable that my lungs are still cooked. Okay. IR stashes. I mean, yeah, Brooks. Chubb, obviously, is one that we'd want. Who else fits the bill for that? What's his name? Why can't I think of the running back on the Packers? My throat is dying. Lloyd. Marshawn Lloyd would be one. For the most part, that's really it. Again, I wouldn't go after Kendra Miller. Yeah, just Lloyd, Brooks, and Chubb would be the three that I'd be looking at. No one else is really... I mean, Hawkinson. If you have an IR spot, you can put Hawkinson in the IR spot. That'd be a good one, probably. No one else really stands out in my eyes. We're also getting close enough to week 1 where some of these people who aren't on PUP, aren't on IR, will just potentially be out. Like someone like Curtis Samuel, maybe he's out to start the season and you draft him and a couple days later you can throw him on IR and it's like, okay, you got that extra pick there. So there's value in that too. You got pick 3, 10-man full PPR draft. You're shooting for Tyreek or CD and one of either Pacheco or Jacobs in round 2. Yeah, I think that's a strong beginning, especially in full PPR. Getting Tyreek or CD, like that's obviously they're going to be phenomenal this season. And yeah, if you can get Pacheco or Jacobs after that, I think that's a good start. London and Rome Odunze for Garrett Wilson. I would want to know your team at that point. Hold on. Let's make a pick. We're pretty good at wide receiver. I like how this team's turning out, by the way. But I love Jacoby Myers. I feel like I just have to take him. Oh, we can get Zach Moss, too, as part of a stack. I think people are scared Samaje Perine is going to sign, which does scare me a little bit. I do only have Devon Achane, though. I'm not going to take a tight end. It'd be one of these two. I mean, I guess Myers is slightly more likely to be there, and we can cross our fingers they don't get Perine. Would they really want to sign Perine? They can go with Moss and Chase Brown. They don't need Samaje. Let's take them. It's part of the stack. It can happen. Because I think this would be a good stack if I got Moss, Jamar Chase, and then I got either Yosavash or Burton late. I think that's what I'm aiming for right now. Yeah, I don't know what the right pick was there because I love Myers. I want to get as much of him as I can. I don't know that he's going to be there at the next pick, but hopefully he is. Yeah, so I'd want to see your team, John S. Like London to Garrett Wilson. You didn't say the scoring format, but I always just assume half PPR there. London I have at 21. Garrett Wilson I have at 9. So you're moving up 11 spots and you're losing Odunze. I mean, that's like even. I feel like it's a fair trade. I just love Odunze so much. I wish it could be someone else. Like, who's your next best receiver? Could you do that? I just really like Odunze. But, if Odunze is like your 5th best wide receiver, I mean, why not, right? Why not take London and a bench player, upgrade your starting lineup? It's usually the trades that work out for people. Myers is still there. Only 5 picks away. Full PPR. 2 flex league. is going to become a one. Oh, it's going to be a keeper league, okay, with one keeper. Should this change your draft at all? Lean more towards upside. With one keeper, don't worry about it too much because I've played in those, and a lot of times also, if you pick someone up off free agency, they count as around 14 keeper or whatever your last pick is, 14, 15, 16. And I feel like that's just more likely to happen than you happening to actually draft someone in round 12 and they end up as a round 1 player, We might get Myers here, although I expect both these teams to go wide receiver. Oh, this guy's going to auto, isn't he? And auto won't be Myers. Okay, I think we're going to end up with him. That would be amazing. If we don't, do we just go with Brandon Cooks? Probably. All right, but I want Myers, definitely. Late rounds, you lean youth, lean towards some of these players that could really benefit. Like I talked about Adunze, right? I think Adunze could be a round 3 pick next year. So if you get him in round 8 and you can keep him for round 8 and get him in round 3, obviously that would be really beneficial. But for the most part, no. Maybe you lean youth a little bit, but it's not really worth changing up all that much. You're more likely to pick someone up in free agency, happen to hit late. I wouldn't worry about it too much. 2-3 turn and half PPR. Do you prefer Achane and Cup / London, or Cup and London, assuming you already have a running back? Again, I'm starting to go all in on Achane, so I'm thinking Achane Cup would be an amazing turn. Like if you started off Christian McCaffrey, Devon Achane, Cooper Cup, you have the upside to have the number 1, number 2 running backs and the number 1 wide receiver. I don't even care what you do with the rest of your draft. That's a 6 start. Would it be good still having, Cup in London? Sure. But I think it's worth going after Achane there. Is Jacobs over Henry crazy? I wouldn't call it crazy. Again, you didn't give me the scoring format, people. Give me the scoring format, please. I have Henry in half PPR at 202.2 for the projection. Jacobs at 199.3. So no, it's a 3-point difference there, and my guess is in full PPR, Jacobs actually crushes them. Jacobs, full PPR, 218.6. Henry, 212. So not a crush, but 6.6 difference. So full PPR, take Jacobs over Henry. Half PPR, if you want to do it, go for it. I'd probably still do Henry because I feel like there's a chance Jacobs falls a little bit later, maybe get the next round. Probably not, but I'd still probably take Henry over Jacobs. Any serious concerns with guys like Gibbs, Warren, Puka, nagging injuries? Concern with Gibbs because it's a hamstring and those stink. Oh, I apologize for not bringing this up. There you guys go. We'll put it here. Yeah, I mean, Gibbs and Warren, it seems like Warren's going to be good to go. It seems like Gibbs will be, but that's just them talking, right? I don't have any concerns with Puka. I would say Gibbs and Warren have slight concerns with long-term. Long-term. I mean, if we get into like week 4, week 5, and they've been playing for a few weeks, like, you're pretty much good with the hamstring. Like, it's probably not going to be something that resurfaces if they've played like 4 or 5 weeks into the season. Like, it's probably not going to resurface at that point. But like for right now, yeah, either one of them could go into practice, suffer a setback, and go on IR. Yeah, that could absolutely happen, or go on PUP or something like that. But that being said, they are both returning to practice on, it's August 27th. Gibbs is returning. Warren should be good to go soon. The odds are they'll be fine. But the odds are they'll be fine, right? So yeah, I still have some concern. Would you trade Mason to the CMC owner for Polk? Do you need Polk? Because I would rather just keep Mason for the upside. Okay. We do need a running back. I can't draft Zeke. I can't do it. I would draft McLaughlin before. I can't draft Ezekiel Elliott. Don't have anything a wide receiver here. Oh. Do we just draft McLaughlin? I'm getting a ton of him in drafts right now. Have him at 142. We're at 140. It's not too bad. I just truly can't draft Ezekiel Elliott. Like, I know he was top ranked there. I just can't do it. I can't bring myself to draft that man. There's no way, right? There's no way he's good. There's no way he's good anymore. He hasn't been good in like 3-4 years. I'd probably rather just keep Mason. If that person wants to trade, I feel like you can drive that price up. Right now, they're probably valued similarly. You can get more than Polk, I feel like. Would you trade Drake London plus Aaron Jones for Kyron half year from the running back upgrade? I don't know that I would do that. Let's see. The difference in half PPR, I have Kyron at, no, I mean, that's 3 spots better, and you have to give up Aaron Jones. No, I don't think you should do that. Where would you rank Jacobs with newest injury? I said that before, but in half PPR, I have him at 19th overall. In full PPR, I have him at 21st overall. Can you talk about Waddle versus Devonta Smith? I know you have Waddle ahead, but you feel like they're in very similar situations. Yeah, I mean, they're very, very similar. I have Waddle projected for 189.9, Devonta Smith for 189. So you really just got to go with your gut on that one. Weekly ceiling definitely favors Jalen Waddle. 100 percentile outcome probably favors Waddle because like if they both became the wide receiver one in their own teams, Waddle is the better play. Like he'd literally be a top 3 wide receiver every single week that Tyreek Hill misses. You wouldn't say the same thing about Devonta Smith. Offense-wise, I think Miami just has a little bit more upside with like touchdowns, big plays. I just trust them a little bit more. So that's, I think, the lean. But yeah, I mean, they're obviously very, very close. It's 1,000 quarterbacks at the top of the rankings right now. I've been getting a lot of Demario Douglas too. I feel like we should take Chuba here just because he's going to start the season hot and we have a hero build. So I'm probably going to need those points early in the season because I'm probably going to have to draft a decent amount of, not a decent amount, but I'm going to have to draft some running backs a little bit later on. We're not going quarterback, obviously. There's no reason for us to go wide receiver at this spot. There's no reason for us to go tight end. So Chuba. Nice. Yeah, I mean, with Brooks on IR, like, why not grab Chuba, get him for the first 4 weeks doing solid work? Hopefully, Jaleel is as good as I think he's going to be. Hopefully, Samaje Perine doesn't sign with the Bengals, but I'm hoping also Devon Achane just kind of, melts faces, and he's a guy that is just carrying this team. Okay. I like the team so far. I think it's turning out really good. Do you trust Jacobs as running back 1 now? You have CD and Devontae with it. Yeah. If you have CD and Devonta Adams, yeah, I trust Jacobs as my 1, getting him in round 3. Lucky to have the 5 spot. Well, when you do 250 drafts, you can get the 5 spot a couple times. But yeah, 5 spot's nice. I like 5 spot. I like the 8 spot. How would you rank in Dynasty Startup Puka, Garrett Wilson, AJ Brown? My gut, and you can just see the Dynasty rankings on the site, my gut says I have it AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson, then Puka. I'm pretty confident Puka is last. It's really close between Garrett Wilson and AJ Brown, though. And I wouldn't be shocked if I had Garrett Wilson first because I really like Garrett Wilson. 16-team league. You have the 11th pick in full PPR. That kind of stinks. What 4 position should you go with? Don't know what that means. What 4 position should you go with? I don't know what that means, but you're in a 16-team league and it's full PPR and you have the 11 pick. I'd probably try and get a running back with either the 11 pick or the next round. If you're asking what 4 positions to do first, I would probably want to leave that. I'd probably aim to leave it even, but either have 1 running back and 3 receivers or 2 and 2. If you get value on a quarterback or a tight end, pull the trigger. Probably wouldn't do it until that the 3rd or 4th pick. You could do it at the 3rd pick. So we have a big quarterback run right before us. We're still not taking quarterback yet, so that's good. We could go Conklin. I don't think we need to. I think there's good enough tight ends late where we don't need a tight end here. We can go with Pearsall. Just keep digging our grave with that one. I like Antonio Gibson, and he's kind of the last running back actually in this range, so maybe we don't need to go there. Yeah, let's go Gibson at this pick. I don't think Pearsall was a bad pick, and I probably could have chanced it with Gibson, but also Pearsall falls a lot in drafts. I just feel like Gibson, I mean, he's a locked-in running back too. They're going to throw a lot of screen passes. He's going to be involved in the receiving game. He's got big play upside. I know the line stinks. I know they're not going to score that many points, but maybe Drake May is decent. Drake May is also one of the quarterbacks I might draft as that flyer, as that last quarterback, so it makes sense to kind of start a stack there. Does Spears still look probable taking the role over Pollard? So to start the season, it is looking like Pollard's going to have like a 55-45 edge over Spears. I still think Spears is the better running back. I think it's really just going to depend on the week. They're probably just going to alternate these two. Whoever starts ripping off big plays, they're going to kind of keep rolling with them. They'll probably use like drives, like put one in on drive, kind of keep them throughout the drive. So they're going to have similar value, but it's also just, we kind of just have to wait and see. Early in the season, I'm going to have, the running back report, wide receiver report, things like that, where we're going to actually see the underlying value on these players. We're going to see, how much volume they're getting, how valuable that volume is, and we'll kind of see what the split is there. But my guess is it's still 55-45 over Pollard to start the season. But again, I think Spears is the better player. I have moved Pollard slightly over Spears in the rankings because, again, that's what it's looking like in the preseason. Is it's a slight split towards Pollard. But I think Pollard still does go ahead of him by ranking. So I'd still be good taking Spears where he goes. Okay, 173. I still do think Conklin would be good here. I know I said I can draft other tight ends, but we are getting towards the end here at round 15. Conklin's a good pick. Wide receiver. It's not that. These guys aren't that good of picks. I mean, maybe we could go Tolbert, but I don't think that's really where we want to go. I feel like Conklin's the play here. And by my rankings, he's second there, yeah. Conklin, I mean, they bubble wrapped him in the preseason. He's probably going to rack up 60 receptions this season. He basically isn't going earlier because he didn't play in the preseason. We don't get a ton of news about him from camp, but he's clearly their tight end one. He's going to have a pretty solid role. Not a crazy role, but he's going to have a pretty solid role in the receiving game. Did just notice we went 12-12 on all of these guys. So we have 16, 17, 18 left. We're going to need a tight end and a quarterback that are not round 12, which is fine. We'll pretty easily be able to find that. But that means we get one pick that is not those. Are we good with running back right now? Achane, Moss, McLaughlin, Chuba, Gibson. Honestly, yes. I think I'm fine with that. Yeah, we need another receiver. Chase, Ayuk, Flowers, Coleman, Curtis, Myers. Okay, so the plan is for the rest of this draft to get one of Yosivas or... Did someone take Jermaine Burton already? Burton usually goes after. What? Where did Burton go? No, maybe I just didn't see him. Because, yeah, he hasn't gone. Oh, he has gone. He went at 171. Usually people are taking Yosivas, but I guess with him, having the long plays in the preseason, people are thinking he's going to take over earlier. But, yeah, we kind of have to go Yosivas in the next pick and then, tight end quarterback in the last two. Superflex Dynasty start 9. Who would you stash, Diami or Emmanuel Wilson or Frank Gore Jr. for future use? Probably Diami. I mean, I don't know that Emmanuel Wilson's going to have that big of a role, but I guess if he's the 2 right now, maybe. But, are you actually going to play him? Because, your stashing here is a stash, right? It's probably not someone you're starting. Emmanuel Wilson by week 4, week 5 isn't... I mean, once they have Lloyd back, he's not going to have a role. So there's no real need to stash him. Whereas Dami Brown, maybe he proves us something this year. I wouldn't stash Frank Gore, though. Drafted at the 4th pick. Lineup half what? Oh, there's your team. Okay. Love, Hall, Achane. Awesome there. London, Devonta Smith, Kincaid. I think, is everyone drafting Kincaid this season? Bravo, but everyone's drafting Kincaid, Rashee Rice. Yeah, it's a good team. It's clearly a good team. Again, you've got the top 11 quarterback, top 7 tight end. You have 2 elite running backs. You've got very strong wide receivers. That's just the build that I like this season. Good job. Okay, Yosivas will be there. Who are we gonna want? I'm assuming, yeah. Okay, we'll take him. And then quarterback. I mean, I'll take Burton if he's there. If not, I don't think we took. I'll take Sam Darnold, even not stacking him, just because I think he has the upside there. Theoretically, it's slightly risky if he's not the starting quarterback by week 12, but excuse me. I think he probably will be. I would want to stack if I don't go with him. So I don't think I would go Levis. Denver, I don't think I have any Denver players, so I wouldn't go there. I don't think I drafted Chuba. So I guess Bryce Young or... Oh, did someone take... Someone took Drake May. Interesting. All right, so those would be the two. We'd be looking at Sam Darnold or Bryce Young. Tight ends, these are the three I go with. They're pretty much always available. At least one of them is always available in the last round. So we'll do quarterback and then we'll do tight end there. Super chat. Okay. How'd we do? 10 team, full PPR. You got 2 wide receiver, 1 flex, pick 9. Okay, you went with Brees. You got Brees at 9. Excellent value there. Even in full PPR. That's awesome. Even in 10. Okay, 10 team league. Brees, Puka, London, Nico. So I love that trio of wide receiver. I mean, Puka, London, Nico could be 3 wide receiver ones this season. Especially getting Nico as your 3rd wide receiver. That's awesome. McBride, okay. A Rich. So again, you got the 2 tight end quarterback we like. Connor, Rasheed, Zamir, Deontay, Brooks. Yeah, this is a great team. Like, Brees Hall, James Conner, Brooks. You don't even need Brooks to start the season. Put him on the IR spot if you have him, but keep him on the bench there. Chase Brown, assuming we don't get the small JP Ryan there, and Spears. We're taking 2 shots on upside players there. And you didn't sacrifice wide receiver. I mean, wide receivers are sick. Puka, London, Nico, Rasheed, Deontay. You're going to be able to start those guys easily. And then you also have, who I think could be, break fantasy scoring for A Rich. I would say McBride. I have just like slight hesitations with him as opposed to some of the other tight ends in that spot, but he's still a clear top 5 tight end. And it's pretty obvious that he has the upside. Like, year 2 is always the breakout for tight end. He just has so much upside in if he can actually be their second targeted player. Like, obviously Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be the top wide receiver, right? But if he actually does command like more targets than Dortch, he commands more targets than Michael Wilson, and he's out there, catching 6-7 balls a game. He's a player that it's like, you don't want to compare him to Kelsey. You don't want to compare him to Gronk, but it's like, these big physical players that can like really, really start producing when you just get them the ball, like downfield role. He's not someone like, I guess the slight concern with Kincaid is he had a lot of short area targets last season. And so you can look at that and be like, well, even if he racks 100 receptions, is he getting moved downfield? One thing I'll say with Kincaid, though, he was still highly efficient deep downfield, so I'm not super concerned about that. But you don't even have that worry with Trey McBride. It's like he can get that work deep downfield. The team is probably going to lose a lot. Bad defense, going to play relatively fast. Yeah, that's a great team. Another one. How did we do? 12 team, full PPR, 2 flex. Okay. Dak Prescott at quarterback. Running back 1 is Jonathan Taylor. Running back 2, Tyjae Spears. Okay, so hopefully it's a hero build. Lamb, Waddle, McBride, Flowers, Ridley, your bench. You've got Worthy, Trey Benson, Dobbins, Pop Douglas, A.D. Mitchell. Okay, it's a good team. You're going to have to figure out running back 2. So Spears, if it is, he's in a 45 split on Tennessee. Maybe you're not in love with that at running back 2 right now. It's fine because like, you have enough of the wide receiver there where like you're not starting running back in the flex spot, right? Lamb and Waddle, obviously your wide receivers 1 and 2. But like Flowers, Ridley, Worthy, you're starting them over any running backs that you would have had. So, having Spears running back 2, it's okay to have. But that's going to be where you're looking in season. Is Benson getting enough of a role? Because Benson's your only backup running back. So that's a spot where you're going to have to like improve. But like I've said before, you've got that top 11 quarterback. You've got a rock solid tight end. So you're not highly dependent on that running back 2 spot. It's okay if you take some time. It's okay if to start the season, like, we don't know. There's going to be some people on free agency that really pop off. Maybe one of them pops off, and that's, what you can do at running back 2. I think it's a very, very strong team. Weak or thin bench, I guess. And the fact that, like, there's not that many, I guess, Worthy, Benson. Oh, I didn't see Dobbins there, so that helps. Dobbins, Pop Douglas, A.D. Mitchell. I guess it's a thin bench in terms of you don't have that many bench players. Maybe I'd like to see one more running back on that bench. I know you have Benson and Dobbins. I just don't know who it would be, though. Maybe instead of Pop Douglas, but yeah, try and make a trade at some point to get a better running back, too. That's all I'll say for that one. Okay, we're going to make our pick here. It's the last pick. If we don't get Dulcich, I guess I would go with Gesicki. Should I just go? I can't go with Gesicki because we have the week 12. Dulcich goes to pick buff. That never happens. Wow. I'm surprised by that. But Chig up for now. Yeah, that never happens that all those guys go. You could go with Zach Ertz, but my worry with Zach Ertz is he falls off later in the season. I guess we'll go with Chig. Yeah. Again, that doesn't happen very often. I'm pretty much always sitting there in this final round with my option, honestly, between Parkinson, Tucker Kraft, and Greg Dulcich. And I love doing that with one of the final picks. Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. Okay, we'll go over the team in a second. We know the super chat. Thoughts on this one? Easy, Willow. Okay, 12-team, full PPR. You had the 101. Thoughts on it? Okay, McCaffrey, Waddle, Cup, another Kincaid team, another Rashee Rice team, Kyler. Okay, your running backs are McCaffrey. Who was the other? Oh, then just slam running backs the rest of the draft. Okay, if you go McCaffrey, Waddle, Cup, you have Devonta Smith, Rashee Rice, Kyler, and Kincaid. Yeah, that would be great because you'd be pretty much set at wide receiver. I mean, the odds you draft wide receivers late that are going to outperform those wide receivers are minimal. Kincaid will be your tight end all season. Kyler's going to be great at quarterback. Yeah, I mean, that's a great plan. You'd still want to draft like a fifth wide receiver. And I don't know your starting formats there, like how many flex spots and stuff like that. I would still want to, draft a fifth, draft a sixth wide receiver. You're not drafting running back with every single one of your late picks. But yeah, once you start McCaffrey, get Jordan Mason. So at this point, guys, if you drafted McCaffrey, you got to be reaching on Jordan Mason. Get him in drafts. We now know he's the clear running back too. They have Guerrero. They have, what's the other guy's name? I want to pull that up. Although Guerrero's missed like most of camp. They have Cody Schrader, who was pretty productive in college. My model looked at him a little bit. But Jordan Mason's the clear running back too. So now that we know that, if McCaffrey got hurt, like, oh my goodness, Jordan Mason would be an every down running back and have immense upside. So he's a great pick in general, but if you have McCaffrey, guys, you have to draft Jordan Mason. If you have him on leagues right now, you have to go on free agency and get Jordan Mason. You have to do it. Okay, I think I answered all of the super chats. I'm pretty sure. Okay, nice. Forgot to add your last bench spot. It was Michael Wilson. Yeah, I like Michael Wilson as well as a sleeper late. Excuse me. Okay, a few more questions. I said I'd get to all of them, but again, the throat is dying, and we did answer a lot of these. I think we were around here. Well, we got a few more minutes. All right. None of these are questions. You have your draft tonight. Okay. 3 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 flex. You got 1, so McCaffrey, good. Is it crazy to go 2 running backs even after McCaffrey, even though it's 3 wide receiver, full PPR, and Achane and Jacobs or Henry if they're there? I'd be good going Achane because, again, you guys know I think the ceiling there is crazy. I'd mock it out. I'd mock it out there. If you want to go McCaffrey, Achane, Jacobs, and then literally not draft another running back until like round 12, and you want to attack, quarterback, tight end, and then a million wide receivers, you can. I do think you fall a little bit behind, though. I would say I would probably only do McCaffrey, Achane. I would probably only do those 2. I wouldn't do Henry. Jacobs, maybe we can consider that. But it would have to be if you look at the wide receivers and people are going really heavy in there, and that's why you're getting that value. I probably wouldn't. But if you do out the mocks and you still like your team, go for it. Can Chase Brown take the lead role over Moss? I think he can, and I think he will. Auction. You can keep Sun God for 31, Ridley for 17. CMC is not being kept. Do you spend everything for CMC or let someone else go nuts on him? What's my auction for full PPR? I have McCaffrey at $84 in full PPR. So if you want to go nuts, if that's nuts to you, that's what I would say. Sun God at $31 though. That's a deal. I'd go Sun God at $31. In your bonus league, Achane scored 79 points that 1 week, so you ended up drafting robust and going Bijan, JT, Achane. Nervous about the build because it's not optimal, but felt like it was good value. Yeah, it's not optimal, obviously. But like Bijan, JT, Achane, you could have 3 top 5 running backs at that point. And then if that happens, and you do have big play bonuses with 3 big play running backs, if you can really attack wide receiver in the middle rounds, you feel good about that. That's a sweet start. Okay, guys, I think that is probably gonna do it. Willow really needs to play right now, and the throat is definitely hurting a lot. Tomorrow is a video, but I don't know what it is. Can't remember what tomorrow's video is. It's like a top 5 video of some sort. And then Thursday's also top 5 video. We're going over the highest upside players. Then didn't answer the super chat before. Okay. I will do Samuel. Where was your super chat? King Yo. I don't see any super chat. Well, copy and paste the question, Samuel, because I don't see it on the screen. Okay, there's another one. Okay. You got an F grade on Yahoo, and you're predicted 0-14. How is that accurate? You have Daniels, Saquon, Pacheco, Brian Robinson, Brooks, wide receiver, DJ Moore, Rice, Terry, Deontay, Kirk, Coleman, Freiermuth, 12-team PPR. I wouldn't say it's an amazing. You're obviously not going to go 0-14. I don't love the tight ends, Pat and Kement. I would have wanted a better tight end there. I'm cool with Daniels. They're probably underrating Daniels. That's probably adding into their system. Saquon Pacheco is a really strong running back start. I'm not in love with DJ Moore. I like Rashee Rice, but it seems like you're lacking because how did you start this draft? You went Saquon Pacheco probably to start off, and then you went DJ Moore in round 3. It seems like you just reached on a lot of players. So it's not an F. It's not 0-14, but it's not exceptional. So, yeah. Full PPR, tight end premium. You asked what tight end you would take next. Laporta's gone, and you can have any other tight end. Kelsey, is he too old? No, he'd still be 3 for me. In full PPR, I'll pull up the tight end rankings. In full PPR, I still have him over, not a ton over Kincaid. It's only 3 spots. If you wanted to go Kincaid, I would still draft Kelsey. Like, listen, I know Rashee Rice is going to rack up receptions. I know that when healthy, Marquise Brown's going to rack up the deep balls. Worthy's going to get the deep balls. And so you can look at Kelsey being pretty old at this point, about 34, 35 years old, and be a little bit hesitant with that. But he's still Travis Kelsey. He's still going to score a ton of touchdowns this season. He's still going to have games where he racks up a ton of receptions. Like, he's still a safety blanket for Mahomes. He's still probably going to be a top 3 tight end. So I would still take him 3rd. But if you wanted to play it fancy, Kincaid. It's just when you go with Kincaid, Andrews, McBride, you still do need them to have like better seasons than they've ever had. You really just need Kelsey to do what he's done for like a super long time, right? Okay. Do you still think Hollywood, when healthy, do you still like him? Oh yeah. When Hollywood's back, he's still going to be good. And it's something that as long as he's good, like he returns and he plays like 1 or 2 games, we shouldn't be too worried about like a repeat injury, right? You're a little bit hesitant in week 1 when he comes back, or like in the first week he comes back. I don't know if it's going to be week 1. You're still a little bit hesitant in that just because it's like, you know, when he takes that first hit, is he going to be good? But when he's back, he plays for a few weeks. Like, he's going to have that downfield role. He's going to have a ton of upside. Like, yeah, he's going to be really good this season. Okay, last question, guys. Running back 100 league. Is Breece at the 102 bad? Top 12 running backs will be gone by 2-3 start. Again, I'm fine taking the first 3 players. McCaffrey, Bijan, Breece, or Breece, Bijan. I think it's fine to do in redraft. Yes, when you get that 2-3 turn, it's unlikely you get an amazing running back. Maybe you can end up with Achane, Henry, or Jacobs, but you might not. And so if you want to take that running back top 3, do 2 wide receivers after that, I think that is a perfectly fine build to do. Okay, so that is it. Do you think Walker 3rd, Achane 2nd is Ricci? Achane 2nd is fine. Walker in the 3rd might be a little Ricci. Okay, that's it for this one. It might be the final one of the season. I don't think we're going to do a live stream next Tuesday. It's actually week 1 videos. So through Monday is off-season videos, but starting, I think, Wednesday is probably going to be week 1 rankings. I'm going to do the rankings of every single player for week 1, and then probably Sunday will be like that pick'em video for Underdog. So, leave a like if you guys are still watching here. Subscribe if any of you are new. None of you are probably new, but watch the videos this week. I think we got some good ones to close out the season. I'll catch you guys on the next video.